15 minutes a day, every day for strength training. Is it enough to get gains? Watch this.
All right, next caller is Ryan from Utah.
Ryan, what's happening, man? How can we help you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
You got it.
All right, what's up?
So first off, I want to say thanks for all the great content. The fitness and nutrition side of things has really helped me out. And the entertainment side is much appreciated as well. I mean, when you guys were talking about that three-legged guy the other day, I was dying. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got a question about MAPS 15. So we'll give you a little bit of a background, and then I'll just get right into it. So I'm 36 years old. I'm a dad of 3 little boys, ages 6, 3, and 1. I've got a corporate job with a long commute, so I don't have a lot of time on my hands, right? So I've ran out anabolic a couple times and definitely saw my strength improve, and it was awesome. Love the program. But because I've got a baby and some my other kids are early risers, I'd get my workouts in late at night after, we put the kids to bed. So, this worked out for a while, but I found it harder to get amped up for a good workout late at night. And then I'd be wired after the workout, so I couldn't fall asleep till, 11 or 12. So I finished anabolic this last go round, and I was trying to figure out how to make my workout schedule a little bit more sustainable with such young kids and other lifestyle factors. So when MAPS 15 came out, I was pumped, so I immediately bought it, and I've loved it. So I run the advanced version, so 20, 25 minutes every day is no problem. It works out great. I love the consistency aspect of it as well. So since I don't foresee my schedule changing anytime soon, I'm wondering what my workouts should look like long term. So, can I just keep running MAPS 15, over and over again, or is there a point of diminishing returns on that?
This is a cool question, actually. This is really cool because yes, you can keep running it. How I would modify it is I'd probably start to include some different exercise. Like, let's say you've been running MAPS 15, so you ran through it 2 or 3 times. There's not a lot of like rotational stuff in there. We don't address a lot of mobility stuff. And so I might, exchange an exercise, every time I go through it with something that incorporates some.
Yeah, are there front squats? I would say something like that, and as opposed to back squats, like you can just kind of shift, your like a different angle in terms of like the same exercise, but now, kind of like switch things up a bit that way.
Yeah, that's great advice. You could run it forever the way it is, but as you do it, you'll start to kind of, you should be able to, Ryan, at some point, kind of know what exercises you may want to add and, which ones to switch out. This is when we encourage people to individualize their training. So, when I would train people, the workouts were very individualized. When we write programs, we have an avatar that we're designing it for, but it's still quite general, right? We wrote MAPS 15, thousands of people have it. All of them are following the exact same program. Ideally, it would be individualized to each individual person. So after you've run it, 2 or 3 times, go ahead and modify it based off of how you feel and what you think your body needs. I think at that point, you're probably going to make good choices. I don't think you're going to make any modifications that are going to do you wrong.
And really, it's I'm sure obviously it would be nice for us to tell you what those are, but the truth is that that's something that you kind of have to figure out yourself as you go through it. Now, it doesn't mean you can't use us, right? So let's say you're running through it and you're starting to notice something. You're like, oh man, I'm noticing that my joints are really stiff, or you're noticing something in your left hip, but not your right. We start hearing stuff like that, and then we can start, start to incorporate this exercise or start adding these 90-90s into your routine. So what I would do is I would run it as is until you start to notice something that you lack, rotational, the ability to rotate really well, or you lack good stability and balance because a lot of it's all bilateral. There's no unilateral work in there. And so now I'm going to incorporate a lunge instead of, let's say, a barbell squat. And so that's what you'd be looking for, is looking for areas and holes, because it's not the perfect routine to run for the rest of your life. There's things that you might start to see that you lack, and then learning to put those specific exercises that address those areas that you're lacking into the routine. And then you could still run like the format.
Yeah, and I think like long term you want to look at all those things, but like in the short term you can adjust some of those like immediate variables like tempo, and like you can focus more on the eccentric and really kind of, load it heavy but work on, the negative portion of the rep, and switch things up in that regard, or do some of the bi-loaded exercise with unilateral, and so just some tweaks like that just to kind of keep you receiving some of that new stimulus so you can keep kind of like making progress.
Yeah, does that help you out at all?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's good advice. Yeah, so it sounds like just run it as is for a little bit, and then just kind of listen to my body and see what I need to add.
100%.
Ryan, right now you have Anabolic and MAPS 15. Are those the two programs that you have?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm gonna have Doug send you over, or Andrew send you over MAPS Performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually
right
want
on.
you to use MAPS Performance as a place for you to pull these exercises we're talking about from. So that way, because it's got a whole mobility sessions and days in there. So when you're feeling stiff and achy and you feel like you need some more mobility in your life, you can literally pull from that program. There's a lot of unilateral type exercises that are in there that can help you out. So use that program as a way to pull from and get unique exercises to incorporate into your MAPS 15 format. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Cool.
You got it, man.
Cool. All right, Ryan.
Right on.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Three boys.
That I know, right?
That's cool.
What do you say? 1, 3, and 6.
Yeah.
God bless him.
That's cool.
The MAPS 15 has got to be one of the best received programs we've ever
Yeah.
created. I think people are
There's
blown
such
away,
a need for it.
and just how the results they get from it. Like you
Yeah.
said, he's getting great results from working out with
I
it.
mean,
so.
I'm still running it. That's the format. And I do exactly what we're talking about right now. I don't follow the exact layout of it. I pick 2 or 3 exercises every day, and that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I rotate those, so I do include some dumbbell work and unilateral stuff, even though, so that extends it longer than technically 15 to 20 minutes sometimes. But the gist of the program, as far as picking 2 to 3 exercises and you're training every day.
I wonder how common, because again, like situations like that, like he's going to be in that situation for quite a long time, right?
Yeah.
And to have, new stimulus, but that fits so well within the confines of, and the parameters of what his everyday lifestyle consists of. So I could see us probably developing some of our other concepts from our other programs and kind of shortening that at some point.
Well, the truth is, with somebody like this, are you better off being consistent with these 15-minute workouts during this time in your life? Let's say it's 2 to 3 years when he's going to have these young guys, right? Before you can probably get full hour workouts. Or are you better off like trying to force these 1 hour workouts in? Maybe you have you have a week or 2 that's really good, then you have a really rough week because the kids get sick or something, and then you have this back and forth of, a couple good weeks and a couple bad weeks, a couple good weeks, and then I'm going to make the case all day that the 15 to 20 minute workouts consistently are going to be, it's going to be better than that.
Totally.
Yeah.